Trash Academy complicates the issue of trash. So trash is an entry point to environmental and climate justice. This is a character. This is the bag monster. These outfits are what they say the average American uses, 365 bags. We all know, in fact, it's much more because of packaging. And to highlight the health issues, like on so many levels, that all this plastic in our world creates for us. And we know that it's dumping litter, mental health. We know that where there's dumping and litter in our neighborhoods, there's mental health issues, there's more violence, and there's more crime rates. So when I said Trash Academy likes to complicate the issue of trash, trash is like a symptom that we can all see and we experience in Philly. And it's kind of agreed upon, even the name Philadelphia, and it's obvious who's impacted. But we usually take that trash to like look at behind the trash. So, 17% of our floatables in the Schuylkill and the Delaware are plastic bags. We know that they break down and become microplastics, and they're in our food. They're in the deepest part of the oceans. We know that plastic, actually, I think it's right now, it's about 10% of the weight in landfills is plastic. That's a lot of plastic. We know that incineration of all this plastics causes cancer. And we know that the front face of trash is litter. So it's like these huge systems that are impacted. In 1982, there was these two biggest supermarkets switched to plastic bags, and within 10 years, they had replaced paper bags around the world. Now, paper bags are a problem too, really dirty, horrible industry, but the idea that plastic was the savior is problematic. You can see that there's, in this picture of Pennsylvania, there's thousands of fracking wells, and the fracking is actually what they use to make the gas, is what they use to make the plastic pellets that they use to make the bags. And we're an epicenter of it in Pennsylvania. And the plastic industry, which is often owned by fossil fuel companies, is planning to double the production of plastic by 2050, because as we start to shift away from a extractive economy driven by fossil fuel production and use, they're looking for another market for it. So you saw that harm comes from consumption and capitalism and creates markets to make money. And also, we cannot escape it. It's like our only option. It's like wrapping our stuff. It's everywhere. So I just want to emphasize that it feels really hard to resist it. And we wanted to look at the angels, the positive characters. That's a reusable bag angel. That's a parade about clean energy, about solar and weaning ourselves from fossil fuels. And then on the right is the city council hearing to ban plastic bags, because Trash Academy organized with many, many people to help move that bill forward and to get the bill passed. So that's another victory, is when you show up at a hearing. And that's Merletta in the center. Trash Academy collected t-shirts. They just put a note in that neighborhood app that people could drop off their used t-shirts, as long as they were in decent condition, at Mural Arts. And we collected well over 1,000 t-shirts. We actually had to say, stop sending them. And then Trash Academy would overprint them with the plastic bag and the thank you bag and with a no on it. And also had a game that they would play people to give away the Jeopardy, plastic bag Jeopardy, and give away the bags with the Jeopardy, with the promise that the next person would play Jeopardy with someone. And that partly came from research that shows one of the best things you can do around climate change is talk to your family and friends. And we know that this fossil fuel driven plastic bag consumption world is incredibly harmful, both environmental justice and climate. So, and just to buy, I think everyone knows that every time you get that free t-shirt, it's usually a global supply chain. And of course, the fashion industry, textiles produce 30% of the world's water pollution, pesticides to grow cotton, dyeing process. So, all this consumption that generates this trash, when you dig into consumption, it's actually destroying the planet. So we feel rich for being able to buy and get cheap things or free things, but in fact, we're impoverished from it because of our destruction of the planet. And that was our campaign, like the positive side, to bring your own bag, which you'll be seeing again when it gets 6 months out on enforcement of the bag bill. And that's the Trash Academy, folks. They speak a lot at different things and have been really involved with the climate strikes. They work intersectionally because trash and plastic bags cross many different things in our environment. So the one with the pink arrow, you can just see her standing up at the top. She's in the back of the climate strikes image, but that's one of our gifted speakers. Trash Academy folks become speakers as this thing of using trash as an entry point into environmental and climate justice.